So another question we get all the time is, how'd you get into this? How'd you get started into this? So how'd you get started?
Well, for me, I was introduced to heritage design in 2004, I believe it was. I was a financial advisor and working in a small boutique wealth management firm. And we had attended one of our conferences, Financial Planning Association conference, and Rod was there speaking. And when he talked about heritage design and starting from a different place, starting with the family, it's not all about the money, it really resonated with me, especially because my background was in psychology, business, and math. So it really was about more than just the money for me. And this gave me a different way to approach my clients, something that I've wanted to do and didn't quite know how to do. So when we talk about the trusted professionals training, that's really what I started implementing right away within our firm, because I didn't know at the time if I wanted to get fully certified or any of that. But two of the first two trainings I attended, I took gems back and we immediately started changing the way we approached our client meetings, questions that we would ask our clients, and just a different approach to having our client meetings. And then I obviously absolutely loved it and embraced it and then continued on with the training to become fully certified. So, really being able to implement and see the difference it was making in my relationships with the clients and also seeing what was possible. So, knowing about multi generational planning, heritage design, and the end result, I'm a processor. So, it gave me a little time to see how it could make changes in my client families and absolutely loved it. And the rest is history, as they say.
So it started with the toe in the water and then just kept going. Well, for me, I was an estate planning attorney. Had a case where we passed a very large estate, 9-digit estate in the 1980s, which is a lot of money, tax-free, which as an estate planning attorney, that's like nirvana. That's as good as it gets. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And I should just be thrilled. And I was, until I watched what happened to the family. There were two boys in the family. One boy ran 3 businesses bankrupt within a decade and blew his entire share. And in fact, he was getting distributions. He got his first distribution and then 3 years later got his second. When he got his second distribution, it went to pay off all the debts that he'd created between that and didn't have anything left. And then the other boy who I was a friend with, he was a good friend of mine, he actually drank himself to death in about 7 years. And it was all because he wasn't prepared. It was just overwhelming to him. He hadn't earned it. He couldn't compete with dad. What should I do? And at that point, I realized that no matter how good our planning was, it wasn't complete unless the next generation was ready to get it. My analogy, football analogy, a quarterback can throw a perfect spiral, but it's not a good pass if the other team catches it or if nobody catches it, right? So I started doing research on how do we do the rest of it so that they're ready for it. We don't have this issue. And first quote we found was from China from 2,000 years ago. It says, wealth never survives 3 generations, which was a wake-up call to me because I'm going, all right, I thought this was a tax issue or an American issue, and it's none of that. It's been going on forever. And a lot of people were studying what goes wrong in those 3 generations. I took the other approach of, I don't really care what goes wrong. I want to know what goes right. What can I do for my clients so that they stay together? So that's the research that we did. And that research led to what's now the Heritage Process and the Heritage Institute and all that. So I got into it because the result I was getting without finishing the process by preparing the next generation wasn't acceptable. I remember sitting at my desk going, I'm not going to spend the rest of my life getting as much money as I can to the next generation just to kill them. So it was more of a, I need to fix this. I'm going to keep doing anything.
And for me, it was all about there's so much more than being a financial advisor. I wanted to do more and have more impact in the families that I created relationships with. I was so blessed to have great client families. And I knew that they had bigger dreams, bigger desired outcomes than just increasing their family's wealth, their
Right.
family's financial wealth. So being able to take it to the next level, I am so grateful that you created that process because it allowed me to then thrive and work with some amazing families and have a greater impact than just on the money.
And that's one of the reasons that we created all of this, because as I talk to professionals in all sorts of disciplines, and I'd say, why'd you get into what you get into? Over and over again, I heard, because I want to make a difference in people's lives. In the financial services, that usually was followed quickly by, and now I'm spending all my time with compliance. But, but that is for a lot of professionals, that's why they got into what they're doing, is because they want to help people. And this just helps you go to a different level with that.
Definitely deeper and stronger connections, stronger relationships, and having a team of collaborative professionals working with you to help the family achieve what they want to, knowing you don't need to do it all yourself, but you have that team that makes it happen for you. So if you're interested in taking that next step, whether it's a toe in the water or diving in because you want to have larger impact in your family's lives, check us out.